What do peanuts, pies, and pickles have in common? They're about to make your English sound mouth-wateringly good. Stick around. Welcome back to Idioms Insight, where words aren't just taught. They're served on a silver platter. Today you've got a reservation at the most exclusive table in the English language. And on the menu, a 35-course tasting menu of the juiciest, most flavorsome food idioms you've ever heard. We're talking about expressions so rich they could make your vocabulary Michelin star worthy. And don't worry, I'm not serving you reheated textbook leftovers. No, today you're getting freshly prepared meanings, bite-sized histories, sizzling examples, and secret chef's tips to make your English conversations absolutely irresistible. So, loosen your belt, sharpen your linguistic fork and knife, and let's tuck into a buffet of brilliant idioms. Oh, and if you're not hungry yet, trust me, you will be. The Appetizers 1. Food for thought. Let's start with an idiom that gets our brains warmed up. Food for thought. This phrase isn't about what you're eating for dinner. It's about an idea or a suggestion that is worth thinking about seriously and for a long time. It's the kind of concept that sticks with you and makes you reflect. Origin Harer Shanter fun fact. This idiom has been around since the 1800s, and its origin is quite literal. People started comparing ideas to nourishing food for the mind. Just as a good meal sustains your body, a deep idea can sustain and challenge your thinking. Examples. The professor's lecture on artificial intelligence gave me a lot of food for thought about the future of technology. My friend's question about whether money really brings happiness was real food for thought for me. We should consider her proposal. It contains some very interesting food for thought. Pro tip: use this when you want to show someone that you genuinely respect their idea, even if you don't agree with it immediately. It's a great way to end a discussion thoughtfully. Second bite-sized host. Next, we have bite-sized. This isn't about a literal small portion of food. It describes information or tasks that are small, simple, and easy to handle. It's the perfect way to make a big, overwhelming topic feel manageable. Origin and fun fact. The origin is exactly what you'd guess. It comes from the idea of portion sizes you can eat in a single bite. The concept translates perfectly to learning and tasks. Smaller pieces are much easier to digest and understand. Examples. This online course breaks down complex grammar rules into bite-sized lessons that are easy to follow. We need to tackle this huge project by breaking it down into a few bite-sized tasks for the team. Instead of a long essay, the teacher asked for a bite-sized summary of the book. Pro tip. This idiom works wonders in teaching, planning, or productivity discussions. It shows that you are thinking about efficiency and making things easier for everyone involved. Third, spill the beans. Host. Ooh, now for a juicy one. Spill the beans. This has nothing to do with dropping your plate. To spill the beans means to reveal a secret or give away confidential information, usually by accident. Origin, just fun fact. One of the most popular theories links this phrase to ancient Greece. In some elections, voters would cast their ballots by dropping a white bean for yes or a black bean for no into a jar. The results were secret until all the beans were counted. If the jar was accidentally knocked over, the secret votes would be revealed or spilled. Examples. Who told you about my surprise birthday party? Did Mark spill the beans? I'm dying to know what happened at the meeting. Come on, spill the beans. She almost spilled the beans about their engagement, but caught herself just in time. Pro tip. This is a very casual and friendly idiom. It's perfect for asking a friend for gossip, but is definitely not something you'd use in a formal business meeting. 4. Bread and butter. Our next idiom is something fundamental to life. Bread and butter. This isn't just about a common meal. It refers to your main source of income, or the essential core part of something that keeps it running. Origin Nosh fun fact. Bread and butter have been staple foods for centuries in many Western cultures. They were often the most essential items on the table, representing the basics of survival. This makes them a perfect metaphor for the essentials of a business or a person's livelihood. Examples. Freelance graphic design is my bread and butter, but I write poetry for fun. For that company, manufacturing cars is their bread and butter. Everything else is a bonus. The bread and butter of this restaurant is its classic no-frills menu. Pro tip. Use this when you want to highlight the most important aspect of a job or a business. It's a great way to talk about the core function of something. 5. Big cheese. This is a humorous one. The big cheese is a very important or influential person. Think of them as the top dog, the one in charge, the person with all the power. Origin fun fact. This slang term appeared in the late 1800s. Some believe it may come from the Persian word chiz, which meant thing. So the big chiz would be the big thing or the most important person. It's a fun theory, but it certainly fits. Examples. He's the big cheese around here. The CEO himself. When the big cheese from corporate headquarters walks in, everyone pays attention. I need to talk to the big cheese about getting this project approved. Pro tip. This idiom has a playful, slightly cheeky tone. It's great for talking about your boss or a manager in a casual, slightly irreverent way. It's probably not the best phrase to use to their face. 6. Apple of someone's eye. And now for something truly sweet and endearing, to be the apple of someone's eye. This beautiful idiom means that you are someone's favorite person, someone they cherish and love more than anyone else. Origin fun fact. This phrase has a surprisingly ancient history. In Old English, the pupil of the eye was called the apple. It was considered the most precious and central part of the eye. So to be the apple of someone's eye was to be their most treasured possession. Shakespeare even used it in his plays. Examples. His granddaughter is the apple of his eye. He spoils her rotten and takes her everywhere. Ever since the baby was born, she's been the apple of my eye. The new puppy is the apple of my eye. I can't imagine life without her. Pro tip. This is a warm, affectionate idiom. It's perfect for expressing deep love and care for a child, a pet, or a partner. Use it to show someone how precious they are to you. 7. Cry over spilled milk. We've all had this happen. You make a mistake and you feel terrible. But what do we say in English? Don't cry over spilled milk. This means there is no use in being upset about a past mistake or problem that can't be fixed. What's done is done. Origin fun fact. This idiom is incredibly old, dating back to 1659. The original idea is simple and practical. Once milk is spilled on the ground, you can't get it back into the bottle. So there's no point in lamenting it. This wisdom has been passed down for centuries. Examples. I know we lost the game, but there's no point in crying over spilled milk. Let's practice for next week. The deal is gone, so stop crying over spilled milk and focus on our next opportunity. I missed the bus, but I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. I'll just walk. Pro tip. This is a great idiom to use to encourage someone, or yourself, to move on from a mistake. It's a way of saying, let's be practical and look to the future. 8. Cool as a cucumber. Imagine a hot, stressful situation, a job interview, an exam, or a chaotic emergency. If someone is cool as a cucumber, they are very calm and composed. Even when everyone else is panicking, they keep their head no matter what. Origin Husher fun fact. This phrase is surprisingly literal. The inside of a cucumber is actually cooler than the outside air, even on a hot day. The image of a cool cucumber became a perfect metaphor for a person who stays calm and unflustered under pressure. Examples. She stayed as cool as a cucumber during the interview, answering every question perfectly. Even when the alarm went off and everyone else ran, he was as cool as a cucumber and calmly guided people out. The doctor was as cool as a cucumber during the emergency, which helped everyone feel safe. Pro tip. Perfect for describing someone who handles pressure with ease. Use it to praise someone's composure in a difficult situation. It's a high compliment. 9. Sour grapes. Have you ever wanted something really badly, but when you couldn't get it, you pretended you didn't want it anyway? That's sour grapes. It means you are acting as though something is bad because you are secretly bitter or resentful that you couldn't have it. Origin for your fun fact. This idiom comes from one of Aesop's most famous fables, The Fox and the Grapes. In the story, a fox tries repeatedly to reach some ripe grapes hanging from a vine. When he fails, he walks away muttering, "I don't care about them anyway. They're probably sour." The phrase perfectly captures this kind of bitter, feigned indifference. Examples. He said he didn't want the promotion anyway, but everyone knows it's just sour grapes. Her criticism of the winning team just sounds like sour grapes because her team lost. Don't listen to his comments about her new car. It's just sour grapes. Pro tip. This idiom is often used in debates or arguments to suggest that someone's negative comments are motivated by jealousy or disappointment. It's a powerful way to call out hypocrisy. 10. Full of beans. If you are feeling full of energy and very lively, you are full of beans. This idiom is perfect for describing people who are active, enthusiastic, and ready to go. Origin fun fact. The exact origin is a bit unclear, but a popular theory is that it comes from the fact that horses fed on beans were known to be more spirited and run faster. The idiom translates that animal energy to human enthusiasm. Examples. The children were full of beans this morning, even before breakfast. After a good night's sleep, I'm feeling full of beans and ready to tackle the day. We had to calm her down because she was so full of beans after the party. Pro tip. This is a cheerful and informal compliment. It's a great way to describe someone's high energy level in a positive way. 11. Egg on your face. This one's a bit embarrassing. To have egg on your face means you feel foolish or embarrassed after making a mistake or being proven wrong. It's that feeling of public humiliation. Origin fun fact. This idiom's origin is a bit messy, literally. One theory is that it comes from the old days of vaudeville theater, where bad performers would literally have rotten eggs thrown at them by an unhappy audience. Another theory is that in rural areas, if you failed at something, you might be left with the egg of shame on your face. Either way, the image of a face covered in egg yolk is a pretty clear sign of embarrassment. Examples. The newspaper printed a completely wrong headline, and the editor was left with egg on his face. I had egg on my face when I forgot my friend's name in front of all her other friends. He insisted the stock price would go up, but when it plummeted, he was left with egg on his face. Pro tip. This idiom is great for self-deprecating humor. It shows you can laugh at your own mistakes. It's a way of saying, I messed up, and I know it looks silly. 12. Go bananas. Our final appetizer is go bananas. This means to go crazy, either with wild excitement or with extreme anger. It's a fun and informal way to describe someone acting erratically or losing control. Origin, fun, fact. This slang phrase came about in the 1960s. The image of monkeys getting wildly excited and jumping around over bananas is a perfect metaphor for human excitement or frenzy. It quickly became a popular and fun way to describe losing one's inhibitions. Examples. The crowd went bananas when the rock band came on stage and played their biggest hit. My mom will go bananas if she finds out I broke her favorite vase. The kids always go bananas on the last day of school. Pro tip. This idiom is very casual. It's perfect for describing a wild party, a loud concert, or a moment of extreme frustration. It's a fun, descriptive way to explain a loss of control. The main course. All right, we've finished our appetizers, but the feast is far from over. We're moving on to the main course, and these idioms are packed with flavor and meaning. Let's jump right back in with a truly controversial one. 13. Hot potato. Meaning a controversial or sensitive topic that is difficult to deal with and is often avoided or passed from person to person. Origin fun fact. The image is of a literal baked potato that is piping hot. You can't hold it in your hands for long without getting burned, so you toss it away quickly. The idiom applies this feeling to a heated or awkward topic that no one wants to take responsibility for. Examples. The issue of teacher salaries is a real hot potato in our town's politics. We need to discuss the budget, but that's a real hot potato that no one wants to bring up. Playful tip to remember. Imagine everyone literally tossing a steaming potato back and forth while yelling, "You take it." That's how people treat awkward or heated topics. 14. Take it with a grain of salt. Meaning don't take something too literally or seriously. View it with skepticism and caution. Origin, fun fact. This phrase can be traced back to Roman times. Pliny the Elder, a Roman author, once wrote about an ancient antidote to poison that included a grain of salt. The phrase came to mean that something is easier to swallow or accept when not taken at full value. Examples. He says he can run a marathon without training, but I'd take that with a grain of salt. You should take everything you read on that website with a grain of salt. Playful tip to remember. Picture sprinkling salt over gossip to make it digestible, meaning you're not fully believing it. 15th, bite off more than you can chew, meaning to take on more responsibility or work than you can possibly manage. Origin fun fact. The idiom comes from the simple literal image of biting a huge chunk of food that you can't chew properly. It's a perfect physical metaphor for a metaphorical problem. Examples. By agreeing to organize the festival all by herself, She's bitten off more than she can chew. Don't bite off more than you can chew by accepting 3 new clients at once. Playful tip to remember. Think of stuffing an oversized burger in your mouth. It looks impressive, but you can't handle it. 16. Hard nut to crack, meaning a difficult problem or a person who's hard to understand or deal with. Origin fun fact. The phrase comes from the effort needed to crack open certain nuts, like a walnut, to get to the edible part. The idiom applies that image to a stubborn person or a complex problem that requires a lot of effort and patience to solve. Examples. Convincing him to join the project will be a hard nut to crack. This new software has been a hard nut to crack, but we're making progress. Playful tip to remember. Imagine a stubborn walnut glaring back at you while you struggle with a nutcracker. 17. Cherry on top, meaning an additional, often small benefit or detail that makes something already good even better. Origin Chaucer fun fact. This comes from the tradition of topping sundaes or cakes with a single cherry. The dessert is already delicious, but the cherry is the perfect finishing touch. Examples. The vacation was perfect, and getting a free upgrade to first class was the cherry on top. The new feature is great, and the new design is the cherry on top. Playful tip to remember. Picture a cake without a cherry, still good, but not Instagram worthy. 18. Bring home the bacon, meaning to earn a living or provide for your family. Origin, fun fact. This idiom has a fascinating history. In medieval England, bacon was considered a valuable prize, and families would compete at fairs to win a side of bacon. The person who won would bring home the bacon, a tradition that later became a metaphor for earning a livelihood. Examples. She works 2 jobs to bring home the bacon for her kids. Ever since he got a new job, he's been bringing home the bacon for his family. Playful tip to remember. Imagine walking proudly through the door with a giant strip of bacon like a trophy. 19th, couch potato, meaning a person who spends a lot of time sitting and watching TV, being physically inactive. Origin fun fact. This term was coined in the 1970s and quickly became popular. It's a humorous play on words combining couch with potato, an object that is often seen as unmoving and lacking energy. Examples. Don't be such a couch potato. Come join us for a walk. He spent the whole weekend as a couch potato, just watching movies. Playful tip to remember. Picture an actual potato wearing pajamas and holding a remote. 20. In a pickle, meaning in a difficult or troublesome situation. Origin fun fact. The phrase can be traced back to Shakespeare's play, The Tempest. It refers to a person being preserved or trapped in brine, like cucumbers in a pickle jar. When you're in a pickle, you're stuck in a difficult spot. Examples. I'm in a pickle. I promised to attend 2 events at the same time and can't be in 2 places at once. We're in a pickle now that the car won't start, and we're an hour away from home. Playful tip to remember. Imagine yourself trapped in a giant pickle jar, yelling for help. 21. Sell like hotcakes, meaning to sell quickly and in large quantities. Origin, fun fact. In the past, hotcakes or pancakes were cheap and delicious and were often sold at fairs. Because they were so popular and easy to make, they would sell out extremely fast. Examples. The new sneakers sold like hotcakes on launch day. They were gone in an hour. Tickets to the concert sold like hotcakes as soon as they went on sale. Playful tip to remember. Picture people fighting over pancakes at a fair booth. 22nd. Not my cup of tea, meaning something you don't particularly like or enjoy. Origin fun fact. This is a polite and classic British expression. Tea was considered a staple, a regular part of life. So to say something isn't your cup of tea means it simply isn't to your taste. Examples. Horror movies aren't my cup of tea. I prefer comedies. Public speaking is just not my cup of tea. Playful tip to remember. Imagine being offered a cup of tea that smells like socks. You'd politely decline. 23rd, as nutty as a fruitcake, meaning extremely eccentric or crazy. Origin Church fun fact. Fruitcakes are dense and packed with a huge variety of nuts, fruits, and flavors. Over time, this overwhelming mix of ingredients became a metaphor for someone who was a little eccentric or crazy. Examples. My uncle is as nutty as a fruitcake, but he's absolutely hilarious. Some of his ideas are as nutty as a fruitcake. Playful tip to remember. Think of a cake doing cartwheels in the kitchen. 24. Spill the tea, modern twist, meaning to share gossip or the latest juicy news. Origin fun fact, while spill the beans is a classic, spill the tea is a modern, trendy version. The term was popularized by African American drag culture and has exploded online in the last decade. Here, tea refers to the juicy details or gossip. Examples. Come on, spill the tea. What happened at the party? I need to know everything. I can't wait to hear the details. Spill the tea when you get a chance. Playful tip to remember. Imagine someone literally tipping over a teacup and the gossip pouring out. The dessert platter. What's a good meal without dessert? We've got our final idioms coming right up. Sweet, rich, and full of flavor. Let's finish this feast with a bang. 25. Meat and potatoes, meaning the most basic, essential part of something. Origin, Chaucer fun fact. This idiom refers to the staple diet of meat and potatoes. It represents the core of a meal without any fancy extras or frills. Examples. Let's skip the small talk and get to the meat and potatoes of the meeting. The meat and potatoes of this report are in the final chapter. Playful tip to remember. Think of stripping a fancy meal down to just steak and fries. 26. Gravy train, meaning a job or situation that pays well for little effort. Origin Husher fun fact. This was a popular term in the U.S. in the 1920s. Gravy was slang for something easy and profitable. A gravy train was a job or a situation where you earned a lot without much work. Examples. He's been on the gravy train ever since he inherited the family business. That job is a real gravy train. The hours are short and the pay is great. Playful tip to remember. Imagine literally riding a train made of gravy boats. 27. Jam-packed, meaning extremely full or crowded. Origin, fun. Fact, this comes from the way jam completely fills every single gap in a jar. It's a perfect metaphor for a space or a time that is completely full with no room left. Examples. The stadium was jam-packed with fans for the final game. The bus was so jam-packed I could barely get on. Playful tip to remember. Visualize trying to fit one more strawberry into an overstuffed jar. 28th. Sugarcoat, meaning to make something unpleasant seem more acceptable or less harsh. Origin, fun. Fact, this idiom comes from the practice of coating bitter medicine with sugar to make it easier to swallow. Examples. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell me the truth, no matter how bad it is. The manager tried to sugarcoat the bad news about the layoffs. Playful tip to remember. Imagine putting frosting on a bad report card. 29th. butter someone up, meaning to flatter someone to gain favor or get something you want. Origin, shock, fun fact. One theory links this phrase to ancient Indian traditions of throwing butterballs at statues of gods as a sign of respect and to gain their favor. Examples. He's just buttering up the boss to get a promotion. I need to butter up my parents before I ask them for a loan. Playful tip to remember. Picture literally smearing butter on someone so they slip into liking you. 30. Eye candy, meaning something or someone that is attractive to look at, but without any deeper substance or meaning. Origin or fun. Fact, this term emerged in the 1970s and is a simple metaphor. Just as candy is a sweet treat, eye candy is a visual treat for the eyes. Examples. The movie had great visuals, but it was mostly eye candy with a very weak plot. The new car is just eye candy. It's beautiful, but it's terrible to drive. Playful tip to remember. Imagine a candy shop filled with sunglasses-wearing models. 31. Milk of human kindness, meaning compassion, gentleness, and goodwill. Origin, Shasha fun fact. This beautiful phrase comes from William Shakespeare's play, Macbeth. Lady Macbeth uses it to describe her husband's natural human generosity. Examples. She's full of the milk of human kindness. She always helps anyone in need. We need more of the milk of human kindness in the world today. Playful tip to remember. Picture kindness being poured from a milk carton into people's hearts. 32nd. Simmer down, meaning to calm down after being angry or excited. Origin, fun fact. This comes from cooking. When a pot is boiling vigorously, you turn the heat down to a gentle simmer. The idiom applies that idea to a person who is agitated. Examples. The teacher told the noisy class to simmer down so she could start the lesson. Hey, simmer down. It's not that serious. Playful tip to remember. Imagine a pot of soup taking deep breaths. 33. Chew the fat, meaning to chat casually or gossip. Origin, fun fact. One theory is that this comes from sailors chewing on salted fat while talking during long voyages. It was a common, slow activity, perfect for a long chat. Examples. We spent the afternoon chewing the fat about old times. Let's meet for coffee and chew the fat about our weekend plans. Playful tip to remember. Picture two friends chewing on bacon while laughing. 34. Have bigger fish to fry, meaning to have more important things to deal with. Origin or fun fact. This idiom dates back to the 17th century. The idea is that if you have a big fish to fry for dinner, you wouldn't waste your time or fire on smaller, less important fish. Examples. I can't worry about office gossip. I have bigger fish to fry. She's too busy to help with the small stuff. She has bigger fish to fry. Playful tip to remember. Picture a chef ignoring a tiny sardine because a giant tuna is waiting. 35. The proof is in the pudding, meaning the real value or quality of something can only be judged by trying or experiencing it. Origin, fun fact. The original British version of this phrase was, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Over time, the phrase was shortened. It means that no matter how good something looks, you can't truly judge it until you experience it. Examples. He says his new software will fix all our problems, but the proof is in the pudding. We'll see if the new plan works. The proof is in the pudding. Playful tip to remember. Imagine refusing to judge a pudding until you take a bite. Phew! That was quite a culinary adventure through the world of English idioms, wasn't it? From avoiding hot potatoes to hopefully never having egg on your face, I hope you've added some fantastic new flavors to your English vocabulary. Remember, the best way to truly understand these idioms is to use them. So go ahead, try slipping them into your conversations. See if you can impress your friends and family. To help you remember all these delicious expressions, here's a quick, bite-sized glossary for you. Mini glossary, food for thought, something to think about seriously. Bite-sized, small and easy to understand. Spill the beans, reveal a secret. Bread and butter, main source of income. Big cheese, an important person. Apple of someone's eye, someone you love dearly. Cry over spilled milk, worrying about something that can't be changed. Cool as a cucumber, very calm. Sour grapes, pretending to dislike something you can't have. Full of beans, energetic. Egg on your face, embarrassed after a mistake. Go bananas, go crazy. Hot potato, a controversial topic. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it too seriously. Bite off more than you can chew. Take on too much. Hard nut to crack. A difficult person or problem. Cherry on top, an extra bonus. Bring home the bacon to earn a living. Couch potato, a lazy person who watches a lot of TV. In a pickle, in a difficult situation. Sell like hotcakes, to sell very quickly. Not my cup of tea. Something you don't like. As nutty as a fruitcake, extremely eccentric or crazy. Spill the tea, to share gossip. Meat and potatoes, the most essential part. Gravy train, an easy and profitable situation. Jam-packed, very full or crowded. Sugarcoat, to make something unpleasant seem better. Butter someone up, to flatter someone for a favor. Eye candy, someone or something attractive to look at. Milk of human kindness, compassion and goodwill. Simmer down, to calm down. Chew the fat, to chat casually. Have bigger fish to fry, to have more important things to deal with. The proof is in the pudding. The real value is in trying or experiencing something. So there you have it, a full 35-course meal of English food idioms. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends who are also learning English, and subscribe to Idioms Insight for more fun and engaging lessons. What are some other food idioms you love to use? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep adding that flavor to your English. Bye for now.